Hello everyone, this is Joanna from living in Salvador, and today I'm gonna make a video about is Polish Canadian crazy for moving to El Salvador? That's the title of my video today, and that's what I'll be talking about, sharing why we moved here to El Salvador, and yeah, to see if we are crazy to move to El Salvador or if it was the right choice. So I did make a video, I think believe a few months ago, is why is Polish Canadian living in El Salvador. I don't want to repeat myself too much. I'll attach the videos of why I moved to El Salvador and other videos that are going to be associated with this video in my description. But I'm just going to introduce myself again for the people that don't know me yet. I was born and raised in Poland, and then at the age of 13 I moved to Canada, which was in 1990, and that's where I met my husband, who is from El Salvador. We've been together for 34 years, and yeah, we're in El Salvador right now. And there's a lot of things. I don't even know where to start because there's so many things to talk about, and I don't want to make this video too boring or too long. I fell in love with El Salvador since the first time, since 2007, when we came for the first time with our boys. And one of the reasons I fell in love with El Salvador was the lifestyle. I really fell in love with the calm, slower, more relaxing, happy lifestyle. That's it's something that I just fell in love with. Like, I seen how people live here, how people enjoyed life, even when they're working hard and they work, every day. They still have time to enjoy their life. They don't feel exhausted. They have time for other people. They have time to stop and listen to other people. Nobody feels like they're in a hurry over here. Nobody's running around like crazy. And that's something that I really fell in love with. But most of it is how people were happy. I seen everybody's been happy, if you have or you don't have. It's just a different free lifestyle. So that was one of the things that I really liked about El Salvador. It's a really slow pace living. It's like people, I don't know, even when you go to a super select or everywhere else, people don't run crazy like in Canada. In Canada, it's just like go, 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 and you have to do it fast and you have to finish your work. Most of it is just really relaxed, easygoing pace. And Canada, on the other hand, is a really fast-paced lifestyle. Like, it's just you're on a fast lane all the time. It seems like you cannot get a break. The only really break people get is when they get their vacation and go to Mexico or go to tropical places and get some sun and enjoy it. It seems that's like the only time people can sort of relax and slow down. And I'm just talking about experiences that I lived through, what I've seen in my life, living in Canada and living in El Salvador. So it's not, I'm not speaking for all Canadians, I'm not speaking for all the Salvadorians or that's how the whole El Salvador runs or the whole Canada runs. But this video is pretty much all about my experiences, what I've seen in my life. So yeah, so it's a tough life in Canada. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place to live, and I am so grateful that I lived so many years in Canada. And I loved it. I enjoyed it. The boys loved it. My husband loved it. But I mean, everything changes, and so did Canada. And it's just something we decided to let go of and change our path. And like I said, I'm not telling everybody to move over here. I'm not saying everybody should do the same thing, because everybody's in a different life stages. They have different life experiences. Their lifestyle is different. Their needs are different. So everybody's different. But I'm just speaking strictly about me and my husband. So Yeah, I'm not saying anything that anybody should move or do what we do. So a lot of people in Canada are very stressed, deal with depression. There's a lot of homeless people. There's a lot of druggies, a lot of more and more druggies on the streets, which is really, really sad to see. And it just breaks my heart, especially living in Vancouver, in the area of Hastings. If you drive there and you see the homeless people, it's just so heartbreaking. It's hard to believe how many people live like that, young and old, and they're all on the streets, all drugged up. So it's something that you don't see in El Salvador. Um, I'm pretty sure there's some stressed and depressed people in El Salvador too, but not to that point like in Canada. And there's a reason for it. Like I said, in Canada, you just have to hustle, hustle, hustle to make any kind of living. El Salvador has, not saying you don't have to hustle, because you also have to hustle, but it's different kind of hustle. It just seems different. It seems so much less stressful, and like I said, people still enjoy their life no matter what they have, what they don't have. That's quite a big difference between Canada and El Salvador, is the lifestyle, the slow pace, versus the rat race life in Canada. Okay, so first of all, everybody, and I mean everybody, thought we were crazy moving to El Salvador. Like I said, we tried to come to El Salvador. Really, first time we tried to move is 2010. We tried moving to El Salvador, and not just visiting, but actually trying to move to El Salvador and getting rid of everything in Canada. And everybody said it was crazy. We were crazy, including the family from El Salvador, my husband's family. They thought we were crazy. My parents, everybody in Canada thought we were crazy because, like I said, we had everything in Canada. Life was really good. But one reason why we also decided to move to El Salvador is for health reasons. My son, and when we lived in Prince George in Canada and British Columbia, he had really bad asthma. The air was terrible in Prince George, and he had bad asthma. He could barely sleep. I had the humidifier on. He had his puffs, and he just could not sleep. He could not sleep. He couldn't do sports, and I knew it was the air in Prince George. So we knew we have to leave that city, even though we had everything going on for ourselves, but it just was not working for us anymore. My husband also had really bad allergies. I guess it's pollen allergies. Like everywhere they would cut the grass, or if you go to a park, he just get allergies and start sneezing like crazy and just get sick. So first time when we came to El Salvador and we stayed here for about a month, my son's asthma vanished. It was like a miracle. When we came back to Canada, he never really had the asthma. He never really had to take the puffs anymore. But if he would get sick, like cold or anything, he would always have problems with his breathing still. But asthma was pretty much gone. Like he did not have asthma like every day that he had to deal with. His breathing got better, everything got better. And that was just 1 month of being in El Salvador. So that was one big factor of us moving. And again, so the health purposes is totally one of those things that made us move over here. And also, like I said, the sun is a big plus. Like I love the weather. um I really, I hate the cold. It's my feet, my hands, I just get so cold that it almost hurts. So cold um, places are not for me at all. It just makes me miserable. So coming to El Salvador, I totally fell in love with the weather, the sun. You need a vitamin D, and in Canada, we're so there's so much lack of vitamin D of the sun because winters are so long and it's just so dark. You go to work, it's dark. You come back from work, it's dark. So you don't see any sun, and it really takes a toll on your health. And I think that's why there's also so much depression because of the lack of the sun, of vitamin D. So yeah, so health is definitely one of the reasons. And talking about health, obviously it's the fresh fruits you have over here. um, you have fresh avocados, mangoes, everything, all the tropical fruit you have over here, papayas, and you can also grow them, which we do. So that was one of the big things for me, growing my own coconuts, avocado, and mango trees. These were the most important trees for me to grow because I absolutely love mangoes. Coconuts is just the most amazing fruit. And the same thing with avocado. I mean, avocados we get in Canada, most of them went to the garbage because they were just no good. And when you compare avocados from my tree to the avocados we got in Canada, which usually come from Mexico, are it's a day and night difference. So you don't get much nutrition in Canada from eating the tropical fruits. I mean, you have your own fruits from Canada, like you can have your cherries and plums and peaches and apples. So all that stuff is amazing in Canada. But like tropical fruits, you can't even bananas. Bananas, it's a huge difference between the bananas you have in Canada and bananas over here, which we also have the trees of. So I feel really blessed, and that was really important for me to have my own fruit trees, and they're so easy to grow. There's nothing to it. And so that's my backyard is my little paradise because it provides for us. We can have all the fresh, healthy tropical fruits, which I absolutely love. So going back to the slower lifestyle in El Salvador and Canada, one thing that we still are not good at after so many years of living in El Salvador and going back and forth is totally being relaxed and just relaxing on a hammock and just relaxing, just doing nothing. That's something we still have problems with because our bodies and we are so trained to just go that if you don't do something, if you're not doing something, it actually feels bad. So like I said, I still to this day cannot take a nap on my hammock during daytime. I just can't. It's just so many things on my head. I just cannot relax. Every time I try to fall asleep, I think I have to do this, I have to do that. And it's just so hard to get rid of that mentality, just at least for an hour to relax and just let it go. And in El Salvador, everybody does that. I mean, if they have lunch, they can fall asleep on the ground. The people sleep on the buses. They sleep and relax anywhere and everywhere. Even when my boys were going to school and they had the van to pick him up to school, I mean, they said half of the kids were sleeping in that van because they can, sitting all squished and hot, and they're sleeping. Like they actually fell asleep. And the boys or us, we could never do that because it's a different, we can't get rid of that mentality that you can just relax and take it easy. So this is still something that we're practicing, getting a little bit better, but not quite there yet. So the next thing I want to talk is about people, El Salvadorian people. So El Salvadorian people are absolutely amazing. They're so caring and they really love to help people. And there's so many incidents that I can tell you stories about. But I'm gonna tell you one, for example. A couple months ago, what was winter time, when we were driving behind Ciudad Real over here to see land, and we took a different road, and it's raining season, so it rains pretty much every night. So it's muddy. It's just puddles everywhere, and we were driving on a dirt road in the middle of nowhere, really, and we got ourselves in trouble and we got really stuck in the middle of nowhere. There's no way we could have got out. So my husband got out and he walked a little bit to get some help, see if there's any help, because we knew there was a little village, but we were not sure how far it was. So he went looking, and sure enough, he found some people And yeah, they came and helped us out. The thing is, they were there for 5 hours. It was already dark. You couldn't see anything. The only lights we had is from the truck. These people were not gonna leave us till they got us out. I believe we got out around 9 o'clock or so at night. I will attach a video to it because I did make a video about it. Because we just couldn't believe how amazing people are in El Salvador. They'll stop everything for you in order to help you, and they don't expect anything in return. It's just something El Salvadorian people do. They love helping and don't get other people to help. So they had to walk to get sand. They had to walk to get rocks. They carried heavy rocks to get us out. They carried shovels. They were filled with mud, like they were soaking wet. Like I said, it was in the middle of nowhere, and they will not leave us till they get us out. We try to call the tow truck away, but they won't even come there. So we were really stuck with these people, and they digged us out. And they did, like I said, they did not expect anything in return. Um, it was it was just amazing. So when we gave them something, they're like, they didn't want to take it at first because they didn't expect anything, right? But I mean, it was just incredible. And they also said that the same week or a couple of days before, they were helping somebody else get unstuck in that area till 1 o'clock in the morning. And I mean, they have to go to work. Uh, they have to get up at 4 o'clock and be at work 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. But that's the kind of people you're dealing with in El Salvador. My husband also had a different accident. I can't remember if he had a flat tire or something happened to his car driving a highway. And some people helped him out. I think they took him to the gas station. And I can't remember what he said, but the nice thing, what I remember him saying is that he was going to pay him or give him something in return. And the guy said, no, we're not going to take it, because if we take this, that means we didn't help you. And that's something you don't really, it's just beautiful. It's just something El Salvadorian people are. And so many times looking for directions also. We were looking for directions. Me and this other mom, we don't know where we going. And we asked this guy on a bike. And what he would do, he would stop what he was doing and take us to where we were going. And anywhere pretty much you ask for directions, a lot of people will do that for you. Like, El Salvadorian people are amazing. And talking about people, when we were right before I came to El Salvador, we were thinking of moving to Texas year before. I really like Texas, but once I came to El Salvador and seeing how nice El Salvadorian people are, I just could not. It was one of those things that made my mind up. It was definitely the people that why we are here. So, in one word, El Salvador to me and to my husband is a place where we don't need to take vacation from. It's 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 a place where we feel like a vacation. Um, it just feels, like I said, it's the weather, it's the, you can go to beaches, you can go to mountains, and everything's so close. Um, you have everything here, but I say even in our backyard, in our house, I just feel free and I have my own, it's my paradise. So it feels like I don't need to go to Mexico, I don't need to go to Hawaii, I don't need to go anywhere else, because I am in paradise. And that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with El Salvador and why we decided to move to El Salvador. Now, like I mentioned before, people thought we were crazy, because the real question is, why would we from first world country want to move to a third world country? And that was something that especially El Salvadorian people would not understand, because their dream, they think United States and Canada is like a dream. It's just beautiful paradise. You know what I mean? It's that's where they want to go, right? Why would you? It almost felt like, why would you go backwards, right, instead of going forward? So You know, like I said, like I mentioned, family in El Salvador was, why would you want to move to El Salvador? It's dangerous here. It's ugly here. It's poor. It's this and that. So we had a lot of to deal with. And in a way, we questioned ourselves 1,000 times. It's like, are we going backwards? Why are we doing this? Is this right? Is this wrong? And even sometimes now it still feels like that, especially because my boys are back in Canada, which is one of the hardest things. Sorry. So yeah, so we question ourselves that many, many times. Sometimes I still think, why did I fell in love with El Salvador? Especially because we went through so much disappointment, through hard times in El Salvador. It hasn't been all easy. And for some reason, we still keep coming back. So, you know, we had our hard times in El Salvador. It's been really, really tough. That's why we've been going back and forth. And so you really question yourself, why do we keep coming back? And it's just something I can't explain. It's just how El Salvador makes me feel. I mean, every time you went back to Canada from El Salvador, I would be crying like crazy, not knowing when we're gonna come back and just leaving this place. And I can't really explain in one word why I fell in love with El Salvador, but I did. And I guess God has a plan for us, because why did I fall in love with El Salvador? Why every time I go back to Canada, it almost feels like I can't be enjoying my life. I can't be happy because I'm always dreaming of being back in El Salvador. So it's like I said, there's no real answer. It's just feeling inside. It's just how El Salvador makes me feel like. I mean, El Salvador is not perfect, and I'm not telling anybody to move here. I'm not telling El Salvador is better than Canada. I'm not saying you gotta move here because it's paradise and everything's perfect. I'm not saying any of that. It's just something that my heart tells me, and I don't know why. But it's just how it is. I mean, El Salvador is a third world country. It still is. It's still, you know, it's it has its downs, just like any other country. For example, El Salvador is still really dirty. There's garbage. There's a lot of garbage, and it's really sad to see, because El Salvador is a beautiful country, and the garbage is just I just have no words for it. But I mean, it's been cleaning up a lot. There's a big change. It's a big change since 2007 to today. It's cleaning up pretty good, but there's still a lot of work to be done. I mean, there's garbage everywhere. People just throw garbage everywhere, and it's all plastic bottles, chips, bags, everything. They just throw it on the floor and just flies everywhere. And it's just something that should get fixed. And I think that President Bukele is trying to fix that. He's working on that, but it's still a long way to go. So, you know, you have Canada is clean, you know, compared to El Salvador. So, you know, you have to pick and choose, right? You have to see what works for you, what doesn't. So that's one of the things that it's pretty bad in El Salvador still. But I said it's been big difference. It's been cleaning up, so that's good to see. You want a beautiful, luxurious life, then you really have to pay for it. And I'm just not willing to pay for it with my life or my health. Not at this point of my life. So that's something I'm willing to sacrifice in order for me to live here. Yeah, so hopefully El Salvador does get cleaned up. Um, you know, people start throwing garbage around, especially plastic, because I mean, we have to take care of our nature, our Mother Earth, because that's all we have. And by throwing plastic everywhere is the worst thing we can do for the nature, which is so important. I mean, without nature, we have nothing. We have no food. We can't survive without nature. So nature takes care of us, so we should take care of the nature also. So yeah, I'm really hoping that the President Bukele will really step up and and really make the big change of cleaning up El Salvador, the garbage wise. Another thing in El Salvador is the stray dogs, which is another thing really sad to see, because you know, you drive on a highway and sometimes you see 2 3 dead dogs on a highway, and it's dangerous to the people. Like, there's so many accidents because of the dogs on the streets. So another thing that I really liked about El Salvador, that I found unique, is being able to spend more time in nature. People in El Salvador, they don't really like to be inside the house. That's why they have little houses, because they love to sit outside. Everything is outside. They don't like to be inside the house. The house is pretty much just to sleep in. They love to be out, and that's something that was at first really hard for us to understand, because that's why we couldn't really relax when we first came to El Salvador, because it felt like the house wasn't locked in and all secured with no air coming in, no bugs, no nothing. So that was something different for us. It felt like you're outside all the time, so it felt like you couldn't feel cozy, couldn't feel the cleanness almost, like. And yeah, but now that was one of the things that I absolutely love too. Like, people sit outside all the time. Same with us. Like, we sit on our backyard all day long. We barely sit inside the house. And when people come over, family or friends, they don't want to sit inside unless it's raining. That's the only time we sit inside. But otherwise, we always sit outside. We eat breakfast outside. We eat lunch outside. It's all in nature, and that's what I absolutely love. And that's something that was totally missing in Canada, because in Canada it's a different lifestyle. We like to be locked inside the house. That's why it's also clean. Your house is nice and clean because there's no dust, and over here people walk with their shoes in. The doors are open, windows are open, so you get mosquitoes, you get different kind of bugs, spiders, whatever you get in there, and dust. So it takes a lot of time to get used to. You don't feel like you're locked inside the house, like I felt in Canada, especially during winter time. Like I said, you go to work, it's dark. When you come back from work at 4:30, it's already dark. So you're stuck in the house, right? You're all locked in. It's hard to go for a walk because it's raining or it's cold, or it's just different. And that's when I started feeling a little bit of depression, and that's when it really scared me. It's not the way I want to live. I don't want to be locked inside a house. So this is something that I absolutely love. Like I said, we sit pretty much outside all the time, and I absolutely love it. I can do my grounding on the grass, which is really important for me too. And yeah, I'm just in the nature. I hear the wind all the time. I hear the birds all the time. When it's raining, sometimes we sit in a garage, and it's so nice to see. You see the stars, the moon. Is just, it feels more alive. El Salvador feels alive, and that's what it makes me feel. It's bright, every day is bright, and it just makes me feel bright and happy and alive. And that's the, I guess, reason why my heart loves it so much. So another thing that we like about El Salvador, and that it's important to us, is the safety. I mean, especially now, El Salvador is one of the safest countries. It's been cleaned up pretty good. President Bukele has done an amazing job. And so, I mean, I feel way, way safer over here than Canada. And one time when I mentioned that, somebody got mad. It's like, what do you mean Canada's safe? And like I said to him, yeah, it's safe to a point. It depends from your experiences, where you live, what part of Canada you live. And again, I'll probably make a separate video for that. But that's one of the reasons why I feel my boys are way safer over here now. Especially because we live in Vancouver and Surrey area, and it's not very safe over there. I mean, there's shootings, there's stabbings, there's so many. Like I said, like I mentioned to you before, depression and stress, it makes people crazy, and there's a lot of craziness on the street, like people come and stab you. Like for example, one time we went to the store, grocery store, superstore in Surrey, and we seen this lady that was standing in a lineup in customer service getting stabbed, but a 30-year-old girl just running in, just stabbing her on the back and running out. When the police caught her, they just said she doesn't know the lady, was nothing drug related or anything like that. It's just things like that happen in Canada. It's just so much, like I said, it's depression, it's sickness, it's mental health. So again, but I will make another video about safety in Canada, safety in El Salvador, the difference between the safety. So yeah, so there's many reasons why we moved over here to El Salvador and why we still love it. There is still times when I still ask myself, was this something crazy that we did? But like I said, I have to listen to my heart, and this place is where my heart is calling. And like I said, it's hard because my boys are not here with us, and that was one of the reasons why we came to El Salvador. It was for the boys too, to live different lifestyle. But you know, they have their whole life in front of them, and especially Canada, beautiful country, there's so much more opportunities and stuff for them to experience. And so I'm really happy for them and excited for them. And maybe one day, you know, they'll want to come back to El Salvador. We're not sure what's going to happen later on, but this is where we still like it, still love it. The big thing we miss is the family for sure. All my family, my parents, my sister, they're still in Canada, and now my boys. So it makes it really, really hard. But, you know, they can come visit too, hopefully soon. None of my family has visited yet till my cousin has came to El Salvador for the first time. She's the first person from my family visiting El Salvador. And it was really great. It felt so good to have somebody from my family visiting. My parents are supposed to come also. They're supposed to come this year, but my mom's dealing with some health issues, so hopefully the end next year or maybe even December they can come. I'm hoping. Like I said, we still love in El Salvador. Not sure if it's crazy or not, but this is where we are and we're enjoying it. I'm not saying it's perfect. There's struggles and things we have to deal with, but it's just a different feeling. And my heart is so much more relaxed here than in Canada. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too long. I didn't bored you with it. And yeah, please share your comments. I would really appreciate it. And please don't forget to like the video if you like the video, and don't forget to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, but stay tuned because I'll be making more videos like this. I'll share the video of my cousin coming over where we went. We went to Volcano Santa Ana, and we also went to hot waterfalls, beautiful, in Akitisaya. And yeah, I have so many more beautiful videos coming up. So please stay tuned, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Adios.